some of the trails that are out in the back of this property. I just came around that corner there. This is another trail going up toward the house, and this trail I'm following goes down the fence line to the neighboring farm. And as you can see, they're pretty good trails. They're nice walking trails, but they're called fire lanes. They have to, fire department has to come in every once in a while and burn off, do a controlled burn off the leaf debris and the other dead vegetation in order to prevent huge fires, which could possibly happen. You know, lightning strikes and stuff. It's the same thing they do in Florida and the same thing they do out in the West Coast. Some of these trees here you can see have the scorch burn marks from past fires. Doesn't harm them apparently. Doesn't look great, but some of the burns go quite high up the trunk. Anyhow, oh yeah, here's a couple of interesting little things. They're termite mounds. A lot of termites in this area. Coming along here to a little bench that the previous owners built, and it's right across from a tree here, a jarrah tree they call it. It's quite big, but either the bench has to come out or the jarrah tree in order for the fire trucks to be able to get around this lane. So that's a project coming up that will have to happen. Have to take this tree down. You can see how it's gummy. There's so many gum trees around here. Look at all that gummy sap. But you can also see how high the scorch marks go on that, as well as some of the other ones around here. Anyhow, continuing down the lane. Coming to an area that's fairly open in a sense. There's large open spaces down here, are larger, and apparently at one point this property was just farm fields, like not farm fields, but this grazing pasture land, I guess. And the previous owners, who had been here for 40 years or so, started planting various trees and shrubs and stuff, and according to what they like. Here's a very interesting tree. I think it's great. It reminds me of the one down on the point. It's got at least 5 different trunks coming out of one, and it's huge, as you can see. Really interesting. Anyhow, there's another pathway there back toward the house. I'm going to continue down this way. See the fields across there? That's what apparently this was like a lot of years ago. Okay, so we're down on the one pathway toward the main driveway. Another little bench there. Another little bench way over there. So the folks they did get out and about on their property. Enjoyed it. Oh, here's a nice tree. You got to check this out. This is they planted a lot of these It's eucalyptus, kind of like the eucalyptus you get in the flower shops. You can smell them on a night where the wind's calm. You can smell the eucalyptus trees. There's quite a few of those scattered around the property. Okay, we're coming down back to the path I was following. Oh, there's some kangaroo poop. Kangaroo poop. Yeah, they are around here. You don't see them very often. I did see one the other day. We had a kind of a standoff, and she or he took off. Here's the main driveway. And there's a electric gate down at the entrance to the driveway. The neighboring property is being built now for horses. The house is not started. The paddocks are all in. All the fencing is in. And at some point down the road, they'll start building. He has barns and big water tank there, I believe. And yeah, there's a lot of horses in this area, a lot of horse people in this area. This is a dry pond, which when I got here a few weeks ago, there was probably 3 feet of water in there, but there is absolutely nothing at the moment. And apparently it will fill right up in the rainy season, which is coming up in April and through May, June, July. This is a little a dry creek bed that runs under the driveway through there, fills up the pond, keeps on going down the way. And now I'm walking back up the driveway toward the house. There's neighboring property. One thing about this property here, it's got a beautiful long laneway. And the house is set about halfway back from the road. This is a great tree. It's called a ghost gum tree. Beautiful tree. All clean. The bark falls off it every year. Like that's the bark that peels off it, and it's just like a bare naked tree. It's really quite interesting. There's a lot of them around. They're very beautiful. There's one way down at the end of the driveway there. You can see there's a few on this property. Some properties have dozens of them, and they're beautiful. Anyhow, heading up back to the house. Coming up to the termite tree. This tree is totally infested with termites, and it's dead. The tree's long dead. You can see how it's kind of going up the trunk. Goes, I don't know how far up. But they're not allowed to take these trees down without special permission because they're habitats for some of the birds. Well, here comes the big guy. Here comes Chloe. Chloe, come on. Come on, girl. What are you doing? Hey, you a good girl? She's the sentry. Nobody gets past her unless she knows them. Anyhow, continued up the drive here. The last little leg. Actually only recorded probably half of the walk around. There's the side door to the house. Single story. Out the back. Workshop, shed. It's Dave's car, our truck. And a little farther down is the water tower, which is presently empty because the pump's not working. So that's a project for them. And this jet pump here needs to be replaced. Apparently the well's good, just the pump seized up. So there you go. That's the half tour.